Mornings in Newton, a quiet upscale suburb of Boston, had become both precious and frantic for me. My name is Emily Hartwell, and I had spent nearly 10 years building my career as a marketing manager before giving birth to my daughter Olivia. Returning to work when she was only 3 months old was harder than I ever imagined. Each morning began with sunlight pouring through the nursery window, brushing against her soft cheeks. I would lift her tiny body from the crib and whisper, "Good morning, Olivia," savoring those quiet moments before the world rushed in. Downstairs, the smell of coffee drifted from the kitchen. My husband Michael stood in his crisp suit, adjusting his tie, while the news played softly in the background. He glanced at his watch and asked in a clipped voice, "You're up early today. How's Olivia?" I told myself his cool tone was just work stress, though it never felt that simple. By 7:30, his mother Margaret arrived, as she did every weekday. A retired nurse, she had offered to care for Olivia while I worked. We could have hired a sitter, but Margaret's help not only eased our finances, it also gave me peace of mind, at least on the surface. She greeted me warmly, her silver hair neatly pinned back, and lifted Olivia with the ease of someone who had once soothed countless babies. Still, I couldn't shake a strange undercurrent of unease. I brushed it aside each morning as I hurried out the door, leaving my baby in her grandmother's arms. But each evening when I returned, Olivia seemed weary, her once bright eyes dulled, as though storms had passed through her tiny world while I was gone. Margaret would tell me she'd been fussy, but her vague reassurances never truly calmed me. Michael, too, had changed. Once a man who spoke of children with warmth and excitement, he now seemed constantly irritated by our daughter's cries. One morning, Olivia burst into desperate sobs as I lifted her from the crib. Michael stormed upstairs, his voice sharp. "Every single morning, this noise is unbearable. Maybe it's the way you're raising her. Other babies don't cry like this." His words cut deeper than he knew. I swallowed my tears, wondering if I was failing as a mother. But then I noticed something unsettling. Olivia's crying was sharpest in the mornings, and her little body stiffened whenever Michael drew near. In the evenings, the same fear returned, yet when it was only the two of us, she would calm in my arms, clutching my finger like it was her lifeline. I told myself it was coincidence, but the uneasiness grew. The breaking point came during a visit to her pediatrician, Dr. Johnson. As he lifted his stethoscope, Michael walked in late and reached for Olivia. She screamed, a scream so raw, so filled with terror, that even Dr. Johnson froze. Her fists clenched, her body rigid with fear. Moments later, Margaret arrived, and instantly, Olivia softened, her sobs melting into smiles. The difference was undeniable. Dr. Johnson asked to speak with me privately. His eyes were grave. "This is what we call a selective fear response. Even at this age, babies know instinctively who is safe and who is not. Your daughter is afraid of her father." His words chilled me. He urged me to install hidden cameras, gather evidence, and not face this alone. That night, with trembling hands, I placed small cameras in the living room, hallway, and dining area. The next day, during my lunch break, I checked the live feed on my phone. What I saw shocked me. Margaret had taken Olivia to her own house. There, I saw a secret nursery, complete with a crib, toys, baby clothes, even framed pictures of my daughter. My chest tightened. Why would she keep this from me? That afternoon, I drove to Margaret's house. Through the window, I saw her rocking Olivia, singing softly. My baby looked truly at peace. Inside, however, I discovered something more. Alongside the hidden nursery were photos of Michael with another woman. My hands trembled as I picked one up. Michael, smiling warmly, his arm draped around her shoulders. He looked nothing like the cold man I had been living with. Margaret's tired eyes met mine. "Sit down, Emily. It's time you know the truth." She showed me a tablet with footage from cameras she herself had hidden in our home. My breath caught as I watched Michael lean over Olivia's crib. She whimpered, and instantly his face twisted into cruelty. "Shut up," he hissed, shaking the crib until her tiny body went rigid with terror. Another clip showed him smirking into his phone. "Yeah, Sarah, I'll see you tonight. Don't worry about the baby. She's just a nuisance." Clip after clip revealed him cursing at Olivia, mocking her, slamming the crib so hard she shrank back in silence. Tears spilled as I covered my mouth, watching the father of my child torment her. Margaret's voice trembled. I noticed the change in her cries weeks ago. I've seen abused babies before. That's why I started recording. But Michael threatened me. He said if I interfered, he'd take Olivia away forever. From a closet, she pulled out a box of Olivia's soiled clothes, torn and stained, and a notebook filled with dates and details of Michael's behavior. My world tilted. Michael wasn't just unfaithful. He was dangerous. And Margaret, the woman I had sometimes distrusted, had been the one protecting my daughter. "What do we do?" I asked, my voice breaking. Margaret's eyes hardened. "We go to the police. We already have the evidence. Now we need to act fast." That evening, I sat in a lawyer's office, clutching the videos and Margaret's notes. My lawyer reviewed the evidence with grim resolve. "This is enough to build a strong case, but you need the police involved immediately." At the station, Detective Chief Detroit, a seasoned officer in child abuse cases, studied the footage. His jaw tightened. "These videos are damning. This will hold up in court." Margaret gave her statement, explaining her nursing background and how she had recognized the signs. When asked why she hadn't reported sooner, tears filled her eyes. "Because he threatened to take Olivia away, but I couldn't let it continue." That night, an arrest warrant was issued. Watching the hidden cameras, I saw officers confront Michael as he entered our living room, his face twisted in rage. "You have no evidence. This is ridiculous." But the detective's voice was steady. "We have more than enough. You're under arrest for child abuse." Handcuffs clicked around his wrists. The man I had once loved was gone, replaced by someone cruel, someone unrecognizable. Michael's arrest spread quickly. His firm fired him, his reputation shattered. I should have felt relief, but instead I sat in silence, grieving the life I thought we had. The trial came 3 months later. The jury saw everything. The footage, Margaret's notes, Dr. Johnson's testimony. The verdict was guilty. Michael received probation, a restraining order, and was barred from seeing Olivia ever again. His career, his family, and even his affair had crumbled. But what remained for me was healing. I moved in with Margaret. Her hidden nursery became Olivia's safe haven. Therapy helped Olivia slowly trust again. At first, she stiffened around men, but eventually laughter replaced fear. Margaret became my anchor, reminding me often, "Emily, you are a good mother. Michael's cruelty is his alone." 6 months later, in a park filled with golden leaves, Olivia spoke her first clear words. "Mama, Grandma." Tears spilled as Margaret and I smiled at each other. Bound by something deeper than blood, we had survived. Life after the trial was not easy, but it was safe. Olivia grew stronger every day, and my own independence grew with her. Margaret and I carried guilt and grief, but we carried each other too. At Olivia's first birthday, surrounded by laughter and love, I realized something. Family isn't about blood or vows. It's about protection, sacrifice, and the courage to say, "This ends here." And as Olivia's laughter rang through the air, free of fear, I knew we had won. If this story moved you, please remember to like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Your support helps us bring more powerful stories like this to you.